Hello, everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 taking place here in Concealed Hill. We have JohnnyCage spawning in the teal trunks over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Um, Spawning as the teal human. Meanwhile, over here on the top right-hand side of the map, we have CoopeR opening up as the orange orc. Yeah, game number 1 of a back and forth game. Engagements, micro really mattered, decision mattered, positioning mattered. And if you guys didn't see game number 1, I gotta say that well, so much happened in that last fight. If you guys are watching game 2 before game 1, well, shame on you, because I am going to be referencing it. That last fight where CoopeR had separated his front line and his back line, his Spirit Walkers and his Shadow Hunter, separate from the Orcs and the Grunts. JohnnyCage's decision to use Thunderclap at that start of that battle, while the Grunts and the Raiders were diving in, was perhaps the best decision that I could think of. And looking back on it, what that did was that level 3 Thunderclap had slowed down that entire back rank so much that for the first 3 to 5 seconds, the entire human army was engaging with riflemen, spellbreakers, and casters going up against the front line, the Grunts and the Raiders. And the Grunts and the Raiders didn't have the support of the Spirit Walkers, the range attacks attacking back on the riflemen, and I don't know how much Spirit Link was actually available. That initial engagement really got the ball rolling for JohnnyCage to say. Yeah, it got the ball rolling for JohnnyCage, and the fact that JohnnyCage also had double potions of mana on his Mountain King was absolutely beautiful. If you like to see Mountain King's thunderclap and slow everything down, that Mountain King dealing massive damage over and over again, even with Brilliance or opting to help out. That Mountain King was a killing machine. As interesting that CoopeR keeps on going Blade Master Shadow Hunter, while Farseer Tauren Chieftain is clearly the meta. That is the case. I was wondering why we weren't seeing that level 5 or level 3 Farseer. Well, that's what happened, right? In the current meta, we see Farseer first, it harasses, it then creeps up to level 3. And once the Tauren Chieftain is out, or you take the tier 2, you go Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain solo creeps, deny right there. Tauren Chieftain then solo creeps while the Farseer harasses at level 3. And then it is a race to see who can get their second hero to level 5 and level 6 first. I will say the power spike for a Tauren Chieftain at level 6 is significantly larger than the Mountain King's power spike at level 5. But then again, it is very difficult to get that second hero there. It's almost a win more scenario. One of the things that I often get asked is like, well, sometimes the players will be like, you know what? Or new players will be like, I went Griffins and I was able to win. Right, so why don't players just go Griffins? And the question at that point isn't whether Griffins are helping you win. It's whether or not the fact that you could get Griffins that made you win. It's one of those situations where is it I'm winning more, or am I was in a losing position and then I was able to win. In the last game number 1, he was in a losing position, but he was able to pull off a victory. All right, coming back around here, Blade Master down to 178 hit points, trying to back away. We are looking at 3 footmen hiding over here at the Fountain of Health. And if it gets scouted out, say, by a lone grunt who's walking on over there, well, that could be very bad news, as those units could all get aggroed right there. There it is, waking up those creeps and now backing away. Footmen need to try and, retreat back. Are we going to see some damage? One low hit point footman still running in there, but purposely running back amongst all of those units in order to, well, not give experience to the Blade Master. Archmage does pick up that Tome of Intelligence. This time around, JohnnyCage is faster to level 2. But Blade Master not putting the pressure nearly as much as well, also sitting at level 2 too. All right, 3 Grunts and a Blade Master clearing out this 5-4-3 creep camp. Archmage, Rifleman already here, trying to put pressure onto that Water Elemental. There goes an ensnare. Damage adding up onto those Grunts as well. That's what they're trying to do, adding up damage onto the Grunts. Who's going to get the final shot off? Well, can't really tell who got that final shot off right there, as another Grunt going to escape at 109 hit points. All right, Tome of Intelligence is being left behind in the back. Is JohnnyCage actually going to try and go for that? I don't believe so. Rifleman now unable to shoot that Grunt here. And with the Fountains of Health being percentage-based regeneration, well, the Grunts obviously will be able to regenerate more overall effective hit points than those Footmen in that same amount of time. Riflemen may want to find a way to be able to get inside, but there has been a complete wall out already. Stormbolt onto that Blade Master. Blade Master down to 300 hit points, and that should be a reason to escape and retreat, as the Shadow Hunter is going to be doing some creeping away from that Blade Master. Priest now getting added in, and this has so far been a single Arcane Sanctum strategy coming in by JohnnyCage. Rifle Casters has really been a strategy that I've always thought, you know what, if Undead can go Crypt Fiends Obsidian statues and have that work, why hasn't human players been able to find a right combination of this? And well, after the changes in preparation for Warcraft 3 Reforged, we've been seeing more of this single barracks, single Arcane Sanctum strategy in the meta. Forest Troll High Priest going to get taken down here. Riflemen still incredibly and powerful, even though they are attacking faster than they were. Mountain King leaving behind a Tome of Intelligence once more. Hate that so much. Priest heading back over here, going to do a little bit of scouting. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 1. Blade Master sitting at level 2. Spirit Walkers joining in here. Reforged. Much better. It could have been that initial boost that revitalized Warcraft 3 and the professional scene. Instead, it's become a giant meme and a giant discussion point on how Blizzard now versus Blizzard 10 years ago is so drastically different. No curtain of silence. I thought I summed that up hopefully fairly well. Archmage, Mountain King now making its way back off to the north here. We're looking at the Blade Master finishing off the Forest Troll Berserker, getting up to level 3, and finally finishing off this Forest Troll Trapper. We're looking at the Archmage trying to perhaps pick off some units. There is a Spirit Walker. It's going to get surrounded, and these priests off over here are going to say, you know what? I know you can't do anything. All right. Come on, one more shot. There it goes. Finally getting taken out. All right. After yesterday's Blizzard's comment, nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Did I read yesterday's comments? I know there. I know the president of Blizzard had mentioned a couple of comments, and I guess Warcraft 3 is the reforged of Warcraft 3 is the Pocahontas of Disney, right? Basically, Disney, after making Pocahontas, they were making Pocahontas, and okay, here I'll do a tangent now. Back in the day, Disney was making 2 movies at the same time. Disney was making 2 movies at the same time. They were making Lion King and Pocahontas, and as Lion King was being made, the individual teams and the departments were saying, like, you know what, like, get me off of Lion King, right? Like, the people who are making Lion King is like, they don't know what they're doing. But the people who were making Lion King, like, no, what are you talking about? We're really passionate. This is going to be great. And some people just were like, no. Disney is all like, we got to make another princess movie. Let's make Pocahontas. And people specifically requested to not work on a Lion King, and instead wanted to work and moved over to the Pocahontas project. Well, 25 years later, I don't think anyone. I think it's very obvious what the masterpiece is between Pocahontas and Lion King, and that caused Disney to like start their soul searching efforts after a number of, well, not so great animated films compared to what came before it. Right, there was Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and then it kind of all fell off a cliff for a little while before they were able to find and get their footing back underneath them. And that's what I hope happens with Blizzard. I hope Blizzard goes back to their core values and finds out and is able to implement their core values, even though they are part of the Activision Blizzard corporate identity. Being able to have both and be able to be successful, make money, but still create high value AAA titles under the Blizzard brand. Anyways, coming back here, Shadowhunter sitting here over at sitting at level 3, and this is exactly what you wanted to see. The Blade Master constantly harassing the human army, and so far everything's just going to CoopeR's playbook very, very easily. Mountain King does have a pendant of energy this time around, but he is a bit behind on experience. Disney has zero footing underneath them after so many failed live action remakes. Well, Disney still has they should step away from live action remakes. The fact Mulan, the live action remake, was a complete disaster. I finally saw it, and I think am I gonna really talk about Mulan in the middle of a WarCraft 3 cast? I guess I am. All right, so that. Well, so it was interesting. It was funny. When Disneyland went to Shanghai, when they opened up Shanghai Disneyland, Disney was surprised that Mulan didn't have. Wasn't incredibly important. Oh, and Sentry Ward being placed down. CoopeR getting a little bit lucky here. Mountain King throwing down a Thunderclap is going to be able to break free. Has a potion of greater healing. Maybe trying to break free here, but it says, you know what? This might be a great place to fight a battle anyways. Throws down another Thunderclap and now forcing the engagement. Blade Master going to go ahead and take down the Water Elemental off to the right here. And CoopeR this time having the ball rolling for him at the start as the, pendant of energy really making a big difference overall, giving the Mountain King an additional 2 Thunderclaps. Has one more in the chamber to try and slow down this battle here. All right, more bouncing around, going back and forth. Militia now being called back over. Peons also absorbing a lot of that damage, which is a little bit of a double-edged sword, as the Mountain King will still thunderclap those units, disenchanting all of those raiders or all of that Spirit Link right now. But the Mountain King is finally out of mana. Archmage with now level 2 Brilliance Aura trying to help that Mountain King finish off some of this here, as the raiders are now backing away. All right, Raiders, Spirit Walker's going to engage here. Rifleman needing to focus down more units. There goes another Thunderclap, and we are finally empty on that Mountain King, as that Mountain King is now at 3.5. 52 supply compared to 42, as JohnnyCage is in a bit of trouble, having a slightly smaller army. CoopeR wants to try to digest a couple of units as well as a Raider. Well, as that Rifleman will get taken out. Mountain King amongst all of those units saying, where is my mana? As a couple of Peons could get taken down in the process as well. Mountain King up to 65 mana. That is just a slow action to try and get more mana into that Mountain King. And even with that pendant of energy, still not enough. Raider gets taken down. Archmage should be dropping in another Water Elemental. Mountain King finally has another Thunderclap. And, well, that clap really took off a lot of hit points, even across all of those Peons there. Disenchant trying to remove things off here. Spirit Walkers is going to get taken down. 1 or 2 more shots should finish it off. There it goes. A couple of Peons in the back, as we're looking at, a reloading of CoopeR. CoopeR looking to re-engage on this fight. Mountain King using that potion of lesser invulnerability. Could try and break free here. However, a healing wave going to keep that Raider alive. And all of a sudden, the Mountain King is going to be in trouble. Is it going to be able to escape away? Yes, it will. All right, a beautiful fight. CoopeR getting the initial start or the jump start in that battle there with a well-timed Sentry Ward, being able to scout out that Mountain King, get the ensnare. However, he got a little bit overzealous, surrounded the Mountain King, and, surrounding a Mountain King that has level 2 Thunderclap there really did force the engagement a little bit, taking a little bit of damage. Blade Master, however, able to use that Fountain of Health, and we're going to see a follow-up fight here. JohnnyCage fought well, but CoopeR and CoopeR wasn't able to stress his advantage nearly enough. There's that Thunderclap as well. Mountain King has one more in the chamber, maybe two, based on, well, maybe no more in the chamber, as the Mountain King trying to escape away, down to 58 hit points, and no Stormbolt back. That is going to be the game there. CoopeR now with level 5 on his Blade Master, and with plenty of ensnares, finish off the rest of this battle here. Spirit Walkers are retreating back. Oh, that Spirit Walker down to 13 hit points, gets a healing wave, a little bit of bonus healing since he is in that ethereal area. All right, Blade Master continuing the battle, and with 240 critical strikes, even though it's only at plus 17 damage, that shows you how powerful and how game-changing that, well, primary damage hero can be. There is the GG. We are forcing into a game 3.